Clay.
And Kaya.
And Kaya, what are we doing today?
We're doing our 2023-2024 Premier League table predictions.
Awesome. I guess to kick it off, let's start off with 20. Clay, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I got Luton Town in 20th. I feel like they just don't have the quality. Not made many signings, so I don't feel like they're going to do very well.
Okay, Kaya?
Yeah, no, I second that. I just don't think they have enough to stay in the Prem, unfortunately. So yeah, probably looking at 20
All right,
there.
unfortunately for Luton, it seems like we're all going bottom of the table. So next up is 19. I personally have Sheffield. I think they're in a similar case as Luton. Every time they come up, they just go straight back down.
Yeah, I have Sheffield in the same spot. I agree with that. Haven't really made any signings. Haven't gotten much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue there, but honestly, I have Burnley at 19, just 'cause I think, even though I think their play style is pretty nice, I don't think it's going to translate so well in the Prem just based off the quality they have. So I think they're going to struggle a little bit and eventually get relegated.
I guess that first week will be a big indicator playing City
Yeah,
away, right?
Absolutely. I mean, last time they played City, I think it was 5-0 City. So,
Yeah, so
but
we'll see.
it's City.
I guess
So.
that's a first big variation. Clay, what do you have Burnley at?
I got Burnley at 13th.
I got them at 12, so I guess we'll see.
I'm
Either
on
one of us
outs
is gonna
here.
be completely wrong. All right, 18. I have Everton. I think they should have gone down last year. They haven't really added anyone of note. Haven't done much to get really that better.
Yeah, I agree. I have Everton in the exact same spot. Lost Yerry Mina. Not a big loss, but just haven't signed anybody worth noting.
Yeah, no, I think that's very good. I have Sheffield at 18. I just think they kind of bounce back and forth between the Prem, and I don't know. Again, I don't think they have enough quality to kind of stay up. And I guess with Everton, I just think they know how to stay in the Prem at least. So I think that on that side. But
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think it'll be so. Clay and I both have Everton, Sheffield.
Yeah, exact same bottom three. Yeah,
all
to
getting
get relegated.
And Kaya, you have.
I have Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield.
Okay, so we have a bit of a different three. 2 out of the 3 the same though. So
Yeah.
let's see how that pans out. Kaya, who do you have in 17th?
I have Bournemouth. I think they kind of know how to stay in the Prem, but I don't think they have like that much quality to kind of push up in the middle half of the table. And I think they're going to be again somewhere in that bottom area.
I feel like that's a fair shout. I have Nottingham Forest in 17th, though. I mean, sign Matt Turner. I think that's a pretty decent signing. I think he'll do well there. I think 17th's fair.
Yeah, I've got him at 17th too. Seems like Clay and I are just
Just
neck and neck
copy.
with our rating. But yeah, I mean, not much to say. They're an okay squad. Barely survived last year, coming in, I believe, 16th. So we'll see how they do this year. I do like their kits though. No sponsors either. All right, I guess 16th. I go with Wolves. Unfortunately, they've lost Neves and Jimenez. Jimenez wasn't that big of a loss, but they seem to be struggling financially quite a bit.
Yeah.
So haven't really signed anyone. Don't see them getting much better. They might even get relegated, to be honest.
I think without Neves, it's like a huge loss. They lost like some goals from midfield,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be pretty tough to recreate that elsewhere.
Very true.
So
Very true.
Definitely. All right, Clay, who do you have
Yeah,
in 16?
so I have West Ham there. I mean, losing Declan Rice is like your biggest player. That's huge. The possibility of losing Paqueta too. I feel like I would almost say they could get relegated.
Interesting.
But 16th, I feel like is fair for them. Lost a lot of players. The only players that look like are coming in are McGuire and McTominay, so that kind of tells you what they're about. I think 16th.
what about Alvarez?
Yeah, they just signed
Didn't they
Edson
decide
Alvarez, too.
it's an Alvarez though?
I mean, that's a decent signing, but at
Yeah, he's
Ajax
not
was he
gonna
ever
replace
like?
Declan
No, he's
Rice.
not Rice's quality, but I think it strengthens that midfield a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
all
it's
right.
something. It's something.
It's all right.
It's something.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. That's 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
I have Everton at 16. Again,
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be that great. I don't think they got much better than last year, but I think they've kind of realized like where their squad's at, and I think they just know how to stay in the Prem, and they're going to be around that 16. 17
Yeah, I mean,
mark.
hopefully they stay in. I don't see them staying in, but it'd be a shame to lose Everton. They've been up for like 50 years now. I don't think they've
Yeah.
ever gone down.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Struggled last year a lot.
Yeah, for sure. At 15th, I've got Bournemouth. I mean, I think not much to say. Seems like they're always right around there. They always manage to stay in the Prem, though, or at least have in the last couple of years. So I think they'll just be kind of that bottom half of the table.
Yeah, I have them in the exact same place. Sign Max Aarons. I feel like that's good right back. Lost Lerma, kind of a miss. Brought in Alex Scott. our the career mode legend. But I feel like that's a good signing,
From
and
Bristol, right?
yeah, Bristol City, and I feel like Bournemouth 15th is pretty fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have Crystal Palace. I just think
Okay.
like losing Zaha is going to be huge for them. Obviously, they still have Elise, and I think like he will obviously get better this season. But from what I've heard, he's also injured and might miss a
Yeah,
big
I was
number of the
thinking
first
that,
part of the
yeah.
games. And I just think losing Zaha, like he bailed them out in so many games that I just don't think they're going to pick up those points this year. So
Yeah, that's fair. I guess my 14, I got West Ham. So pretty close to the bottom here. I think they've just lost a lot of pieces. Haven't really managed to sign anyone of note besides Edson Arlers. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, I have Wolves in that position. I mean, like you already said, they lost Jimenez. I mean, I think they'll be all right. They haven't made a lot of signings, but yeah, 14th for me.
okay. I have Fulham. This is also a lot based off if Mitrovic plays or not. I think losing like the amount of goals he scored last year is going to be huge for them. But again, if he plays, I think that could be completely opposite. I mean, signing Jimenez, I think, will be good for them, but it's not. He's not going to score as many goals as Mitrovic. I don't think he's on the same player anymore.
Yeah, he really hasn't since his head injury, to be honest. He's been
Yeah,
struggling
which
quite
is
a bit.
completely fair, but
Yeah.
I think it's definitely taken a toll.
Yeah, that's fair. And then up at 13th, I've got Brentford. I mean, they managed to do pretty well last year. I think it'll be hard to sustain. I think a lot of the teams that were a bit behind them have managed to make a couple signings here and there. Haven't heard much out of them. I think they're solid, but 13th is as best as I can put them.
That's fair. Yeah, I have Burnley in 13th. I think Company's just a very good coach. I mean, they ran away with the championship. Obviously, the Prem's a different beast. It's like it'll be hard for them, but I think they can get a 13th finish and do pretty well.
I like them.
play.
You guys
play
are
good
high on.
football.
You guys are high on Burnley.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they'll play well. I think they have a good
definitely
team.
think they play nice. I just think like to play like that at this level, you have to be like City kind of.
I think their keeper Muric is going to be one to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how Company just tries to play Pep style.
Yeah, it'll be exciting for sure.
Yeah.
This first game is going to be fun.
Kai, who do you have at 13?
13th, I have Wolves. Again, I don't think they got much better than last year. I don't think they got too much worse. Like Neves, I think will be a little bit of a miss, but I think they can muster up some goals from elsewhere. So
Yeah, and they just got rid of Lopetegui, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
so that'll be
so
interesting.
to
Going
see.
into a new season with a new coach is always difficult, but
Yeah.
I think they have some young players that can score some goals. So
Yeah, I think that's that's fair. Clay and I seem to have Wolves way lower down, but we have Burnley way up high, so
Yeah.
we'll see how those turn out. In 12th, I guess I have Burnley. I just like the way they play. I mean, I think it could be effective. Could end up backfiring quite a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if they actually end up down around the 16-17 mark, but quite optimistic on how they play. I think Company will bring them in, and they cleaned up the championship last year,
Yeah.
so I think they
Yeah.
can do pretty well.
that's true.
That's fair. I got 12th Brentford. I think losing Raya and then having Tony out for 6 months is just going to be brutal. Probably pick it up in the second half of the season. Still got a very good team, I think. But yeah, I think 12th.
Yeah, 20 goals is really tough to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
okay.
recreate. I
For
mean,
the
they got
6
him.
months at least.
What? I mean, I feel like they have some quality.
Yeah,
But-
I think they'll pick up some points. Like defensively, they've always been good, but it's gonna be tough. Whenever you lose 20 goals, like
Yeah.
the same thing with like Tottenham
Yeah.
if they lose. games.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Who do you got at 12?
12. I actually have Nottingham Forest. I think they ended the season pretty well. I think they have a lot of really good young players. I mean, Gibbs White I think is really good.
Yeah.
They signed Alonga, which I think will take some pressure off him as well. And then Owen Oyi, I think finished the season really well. And I just think their fans are awesome. So at least I hope that's
Again,
where
those
I hope that's
kids-
where they end up. Yeah,
Kids are
kids
great.
are great.
I think we might have to make a little bet here. Burnley, Forest.
Burnley Forest. Yeah.
But we got next. I got Fulham. I mean, I think they're solid. Not much to say. Again, missing Mitrovic is going to be quite
Yeah.
a bit. If he ends up leaving, he hasn't signed quite yet, so we'll see what happens there. They did bring Jimenez in, but it'll be hard for Jimenez to score 10 plus goals.
Yeah.
And really be a significant impact there. So I don't think it'll hurt him too much, but 11th is solid.
I'm interested if Mitrovic is actually going to play. Like, saying you're not going to
Yeah,
play
if
is
he
one
does-
thing, but actually not playing.
Yeah, I think exactly.
Because, I mean, obviously, they blocked his
If
move,
he stays,
but-
then I mean, I think they can lock in
Absolutely.
mid-table.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd put them much higher if they
I agree.
if he stays.
Yeah. I have Crystal Palace in 11th. Yeah, I know Zaha's going to be a big miss, but I feel like Elise and Eze can only go up from here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just both incredible players. I mean, you did mention Elise's I mean, he got hurt at the U21 World Cup. He's going to be out a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they signed that Brazilian
Striker.
19-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah.
So
Never
we'll see how
actually
he
played,
does.
but
So I think 11th, yeah, for Crystal Palace.
cool. I got Brentford in 11th, even though they're going to be losing Tony. I
fair.
think they can hold it down for him, at least while he's
Yeah,
gone.
at least
and
it's only 6 months.
hopefully, like second half of the season, kind of come back.
Yeah.
They score a ton of goals in the counter, and so
Yeah.
I think they'll be all right, at least to stay mid-table there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Then going down to 10th, I've got Crystal Palace. Again, lost Zaha, but I think they play well overall. Got some good up and coming players. So I think mid-table is just about right for them.
Yeah. I got Fulham in that spot at 10. I mean, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Mitrovic. And I mean, Willian, I think he agreed a deal, then
Yeah.
flip-flopped.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who knows
he's
what
kind of
he's
at the
doing.
end of his career, but last year I thought he played really well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I think
after-
he complements Mitrovic really well.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, it's
because-
his-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, awful season at Arsenal, then went to Fulham, had a good year. It depends what he does, but I think Fulham 10th for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have West Ham. I just think that like the way they play, I think fits staying kind of in that middle side of the prem.
Interesting.
Obviously losing Rice is huge, but I think Alvarez will fit well within that team.
Yeah.
And then I think they get a lot. Like, hopefully, if they can get some more goals from Souček like they did in like the previous seasons, I think that will be really helpful. And then the only thing I'm worried about is a lot relying on Antonio up top all the time. Like some
Yeah.
seasons he's really good, some seasons he's
Yeah.
like not.
They
Yeah,
just
Not
it's a
there.
little inconsistent.
Surprised
Yeah.
they haven't
Yeah.
tried to sign
But-
anyone up there.
Losing Paquetá, I think, will be pretty big
If
for
they
them
end
as
up
well.
losing Paquetá,
I also,
yeah.
but like that's crazy. I don't see how you can pay 110 million
yeah.
for him, honestly. But
I mean,
who
if
knows?
they do, that's 250 mil straight in the bank off
Yeah,
of 2 signings.
exactly. So hopefully they can pick someone up. But I mean,
If-
deadline day is
yeah.
coming, so I don't.
I mean,
don't know.
Prem's
I don't-
starting in 2 days.
Yeah, and
And
who-
they're
actually.
looking
Yeah.
at Maguire and McTominay.
exactly.
so it's
But
like-
again, I think like I don't think those
I think
players
Maguire
are.
will be fine in that.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, so I don't think those players will take you like into the top
They keep you
8,
there,
but I think
yeah.
they can keep you mid-table.
yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I don't.
I
know.
think it's gonna look very ugly though.
Yeah, of course. But like at the end of the day, these teams don't care. I feel like as long as they're staying
Yeah, that's
within
true.
that.
All right, I guess to recap bottom half of the table, I've got Palace in 10th, Fulham in 11, Burnley 12th, Brentford 13, West Ham 14, Bournemouth 15, Wolves 16. I got Forest 17, and then the bottom 3: Everton, Sheffield, and Luton Town. Clay.
Yeah, mine was.
You got the same list as him. Might as well.
I mean, yeah.
Just kidding.
Don't even need to read it off. But I got Fulham, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Burnley, Wolves, Bournemouth, West Ham, Forest, Everton, Sheffield, and Luton.
Yeah, mine looks a little different. I have West Ham, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Everton, Bournemouth, Sheffield, Burnley, and then Luton Town at the bottom.
Yeah.
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 All right. Who do you think, Clay? If you were to switch anyone there, now's the time.
Yeah, I
Any
would say.
second choices.
Yeah, I would say Brentford maybe going down a bit, just with those, the loss of Tony for the 6 months, and Wolves probably down a little further. I'd say Bournemouth maybe up a few spots, but that's all.
Yeah.
I'd
Kaya?
say.
I would maybe swap Nottingham Forest and Fulham. I think Fulham will end up a little higher than Nottingham Forest. I'm kind of high on them. I watched one of their last games of the season.
Yeah.
And it was just
No,
so
that's
fun
fair.
to watch. So I think that I hope they do well. But
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I think the one that might surprise me is going to be West Ham, but very dependent on if they end up doing anything with that
Yeah.
200 mil they might receive.
Yeah.
They haven't really done much besides a couple signings they might get because, I mean, I guess they're all confirmed, but
I think
Maguire could end up
I
being
think
terrible.
Maguire. I mean, I think Maguire and Salvatore will honestly be really good signings for them because, like, again, first of all, they're coming from a big club. Like, again, I don't think they're the best players, but I think they've played in the Prem forever. Like,
Yeah.
they'll be good.
It's just
Yeah.
the midfield of McTominay, Edson Alvarez.
It's
and
gonna be
possibly-
real ugly, but
might
like
be one of the
it's-
worst.
But but the thing is, like, if you're like an opposing team, you don't want to play against that midfield either. Like, it's gonna be
Yeah.
ugly, but you don't
Yeah.
want to play in that midfield. Like, that's
No, that's
that's true.
I don't know.
they might just struggle to find goals.
it'll be some old school footy, but
Yeah.
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 All right, so now moving into the top half of the table. I think this is where it might get a bit interesting between all of us.
Yeah.
Actually, was already with Kaya's ridiculous takes. Ninth, I have Brighton. I mean, I think they're very solid. I think they'll manage to stay top half moving forward. But again, they lost McAllister, who I think was a big miss. And then they might lose a couple
Matoma,
more
yeah.
players. Yeah.
Matoma,
Matoma,
potentially.
If they lose Matoma, that's another
That's
big
a lot of
loss.
goals again.
Obviously, they played without Trossard most of last season, but still, I think that would have been a good player to keep for them.
Yeah.
Haven't signed as many up and coming players, and it seems like Caicedo might end up going to either Liverpool or Chelsea.
Yeah.
So they might even fall out of the top 10, to be honest. But I still think they're a very solid, well coached team.
Yeah, fair. I have Spurs at 9th. I feel like losing Kane is just gonna, destroy them.
I think he'll leave.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much confirmed at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, that's true.
Losing Kane, I mean, they brought in Van de Ven, the center back. I mean, they have some quality in the team, but it's hard to recreate what Kane's
They
going
also
to
brought
do
in
for so
James
many
Madison,
years.
too.
That's a decent
That's a good
signing.
signing.
Richarlison,
He won't be able
Richarlison's
to-
gonna have to a lot of slack to pick up,
which is going to be pretty much
with 0
How many goals
last
he
season.
scored last year?
0, I think.
one. He
in the
scored
Prem?
one.
in the Prem?
One in
Yeah,
the Prem?
okay,
like
yeah.
4 offsides, one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's a fair position. I mean, they still have Kulusevski, Son on the wings. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll be all right, but I think 9th is fair for them.
I think it's pretty fair. I also have Brighton at 9th. I think the way they play is awesome, and I think it's translated pretty well in the Prem. I think it's kind of again in between how Burnley are going to want to play and how City played. I think Brighton kind of fit there, but I think losing McAllister and then Caicedo is going to could just decimate your midfield.
Unless they somehow sign another wonder kid. For
Exactly, which they probably will. I think
Yeah,
Enciso's
so fair.
awesome. He scores some good goals for them. Matoma again, I don't think he'll leave, so I think he's just going to get better.
Yeah.
But I am a little bit worried about them recreating as many goals as they scored last year because they got goals from everywhere. Trossard scored so many goals for them in the beginning, and I think that just losing that, I think they were in top 10 in goals scored in the Premier.
They have that.
I just don't think they can do it again.
That kid up top. What's his name? The
Evan
Latin
Ferguson.
Evan
American?
Ferguson.
No, the
And
other
Ciso.
Latin American.
And Ciso, the guy that,
Ciso,
he scored some really nice goals last season, but again, if you're relying on Ciso, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Evan Ferguson could take a huge
yeah.
step up too.
No, they'll be good
that's
though.
fair.
They'll be good.
I have them at 9 too, so
Yeah.
I think we're pretty
They'll
good,
be good.
there. Next up, I've got Villa. They might, with Harry Kane leaving, I might end up regretting not putting them over Spurs and putting Spurs there. But again, Villa very solid.
Yeah.
It's just hard once you get up to these top 8 teams. It gets very difficult to see them beating them on a day to day.
Yeah.
So again, still very solid. Added some pretty good players too, but that's about it.
Yeah, I have them the exact same spot. I mean, I think when Dia just got hurt today, out for 4 months, that's a pretty big loss.
I didn't see that.
Maybe 4 or 5 months, I think. Brought in Tielemans, good signing, I
Great
think.
signing, not free too.
Diaby, another good
Diaby's a
signing.
yeah.
Pau Torres too.
That's
Yeah,
another
Pau
good
Torres is a
signing.
huge signing.
That's a good
They're
signing.
spine.
He
is
was
complete-
linked up into getting even signed to Madrid.
Yeah, so I think they made some great signings. I think they'll do well. Emery wasn't the right coach for Arsenal, but it seems like he's doing very well at
I don't
Aston
know how he doesn't
Villa.
speak English. So
But-
he's gonna struggle anywhere in England. So
I mean, I think 8th for them, yeah.
it's probably why he signed Pau Torres.
yeah, exactly. To
Yeah.
translate for him. I have Tottenham at 8. I just don't without Kane. I just don't That's 30 goals and 10 assists being
Every year.
lost every single
Yeah.
year. You know exactly what you're gonna get from Richarlison. He could give you 10 plus goals, but he also again could give you 1. And so I
that's
think
so fair.
Yeah.
and then especially if Son has another year like he had last year, they could be well below.
Son
They could
kinda
be well
fell off
below
a
8.
little bit.
Um,
I'm surprised Son didn't leave.
I think he'll step up, so that's why I still have them up here. But it could be really bad for Tottenham this year. I think,
Yeah.
honestly, without Kane.
I've got. I kind of agree. I got Tottenham in 7th here, so 1 below Villa. I could easily see these flipping.
Yeah.
I think they'll do okay though. I really do. I think last year was kind of a dumpster fire. Conte didn't really help out.
No.
I mean, he manages to win games somehow, but it was pretty.
He caused a lot of problems
a
too.
lot
in
of
the dressing
problems.
room
Yeah,
and, with the
he was
fans,
kind of
I think,
out
yeah.
midway through the season already.
Yeah.
So, I think it'll get better for them. But unfortunately, again, these top teams, I don't think they'll be able to compete.
Yeah. I have Brighton at 7. I mean, yeah, they're losing Caicedo, McAllister, huge losses, possibly Matoma. But I think, they brought in Milner, brought in Dahoud. I mean, obviously not the same caliber of player, but
All good players, yeah.
and I think De Zerbi, honestly, outside the traditional top 6, is probably the best manager in the Prem.
Yeah. No, he's
No,
a really good
no.
manager.
He's
I think that's
done very well this
And
year.
I think, the way he develops players and everything, a player will just, pop on the scene and do well for Brighton.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
kinda
think-
crazy.
it is.
Create a great season for Evan Ferguson coming up, I think, too. Yeah, 7th for Brighton for me.
I think Dahoud's going to be a big signing for them. I
Yeah.
think he can help replace McAllister a little bit. Like I think he'll get on the goals and assists. But again, I have Villa at 7. I think the Tillman signing is awesome. Like another proven midfielder in the Prem. I think it's going to make them better. He'll grab some goals from midfield as well. And then I think Watkins is going to be like really good this year.
Yeah.
Like he's already
always
really been good, but I think this year's going to take like another step forward.
That's
so.
yeah.
I mean, I think
definitely.
Tielemans he kind of lost it last year, but I think he'll bring it back.
Yeah, I feel
Leicester,
like it's just
Leicester
they were
were
just
just
a
bad.
dumpster
it's tough.
fire.
It's tough playing in a team like that and like
They were
fighting
just a
relegation your
dumpster
whole
fire.
team, and especially playing in midfield. Like he had no like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vardy didn't play. Like he had no one.
Yeah. No, that's completely fair. 6th for me, I've got Chelsea. I think they've made some good signings.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a good team in the next couple of years, but I just don't think you can completely reset a team and expect to crack into the top 4. Also, Nkunku out for it seems like 4 months is gonna be a huge loss. I think he was probably gonna be their best player
Yeah.
on that team. I do like some of the signings they did. I think Mudryk might step up a little bit.
I agree.
I agree.
He
Yeah.
should. I mean,
Yeah.
he seems like he's an okay player. Honestly, when you see him play, I don't know. Might have been a bit too early for him.
I mean, you come with like such big expectations. I feel like it's always
sorry.
hard.
I will
but-
say is every single position they have, they could probably have 3 teams that probably land top 10 in the Prem though.
Yeah,
It's kinda crazy.
I just think they have so many like they have a lot of good pieces, but like
Yeah,
they don't really
I think
have
Poch
a
will be
team.
able to do well.
I do too. I just don't
Yeah.
know if he can get them into like the Champions League positions in
Yeah,
his first season.
definitely.
And I still think, I still like Nico Jackson. I think will be good or Jackson, but I think they need to like. They need a
They
proven
just-
striker.
they need
If
to
he
develop,
because if he
yeah.
doesn't give you goals, they're not going to get enough goals from.
Well,
the
I think
wingers,
they're going to
think.
become the old Tottenham under Poch, where they were always, pushing top 4, but not quite there every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
they have a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have Chelsea in the same spot. I mean, yeah, with so many signings, it's hard to have this many signings come in. I mean, most of them have been good. I mean, Enzo last year, pretty good signing. Just paying a little more than they need to. It seems like.
Yeah, I think he'll be very, very good though.
but
But
I
I mean,
mean-
it seems like Caicedo is going to go for 130 as well. So
Yeah.
They're just like
Declan Rice went for 120, so I think that's just the price for it.
Yeah, but since
6
Todd
nowadays.
Bowley's taken over, I mean, they're approaching like what 800 million spent. You have to
Yeah.
at least get.
Oh,
They
Todd-
did.
Yeah.
You-
They did have like 300 million leave.
yeah. They have a
That's
lot of
true.
summer, though.
They have
They
made
did.
some good sales. I mean, yeah.
But
Havertz
again,
selling Mount.
we have
Yeah,
them right in the same spot.
Yeah, I have them at 6 as well. So
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Not,
Yeah.
not much more to say about
no.
that. Jumping up to 5th, I think this is where people are going to get quite a bit upset.
Take a turn here.
But I got Man United at 5th. I don't know. I just don't think they've really solved their main problem. I know Højbjerg could be good, but
Yeah.
I mean, he only scored 9 goals in this area, which is
Yeah.
what he probably wasn't even in the top 10, 15 goal scorers in the league. So I don't know. That's their biggest struggle.
Yeah.
I think Rashford could be very, very good as always, but so inconsistent over the last 2 years. I think I don't know, you have Varane and Casemiro kind of getting near that cliff too for
Yeah.
me. So I think I could see this go very, very badly for them, but I could also see it. I think they're doing the right things. I think Ten Hag will do really well with them. I think it'll take them 1 more year though.
Casemiro has looked very suspect in some of the recent games. Like he
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
like very immobile, and then their right winger
That's- yeah.
Anthony is.
And I don't rate Anthony at all.
But, yeah.
But who knows? I mean, Bruno Fernandes is incredible.
Yeah.
They have some good players, and then I guess their outside backs are just kind of suspect too. Like Luke Shaw can be either the best left back in the world or
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
still pretty good.
I think
No,
he's
I-
definitely
yeah,
one of the better
that's
left
fair.
backs in the league. But I don't know. I'm not huge on Wan-Bissaka. I think.
No, I think
Defensively,
he's
awesome.
unreal.
But like at some point, you also have to
Can't
be
really
able to
go
like complete a
forward.
pass going
Yeah.
forward. And, like I don't.
Especially
think
the way
he's,
they
like,
want to play.
Yeah. No.
yeah.
But I
mean,
think
maybe
the
we'll see
keeper will
Dalot.
help. Onana
Onana.
will
Onana,
definitely help
yeah.
the way they want to
Yeah.
play. I rate Dallo. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Just
okay.
fairly inconsistent again. So
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty fair position.
Yeah. Yeah. I have Newcastle in 5th. I mean, Tonali coming in, that's incredible signing, I feel like.
Especially for the price,
Yeah.
considering how many players are
Exactly.
going for 100 plus
Yeah.
now.
Hopefully,
Very good
hopefully
signing.
it stays happy though, because
Yeah.
he's
Doesn't
hating
look like
Newcastle right
doesn't
now.
look like he's very happy. Yeah. Bring in Harvey Barnes, depth on the
Yeah, I think
wing.
that'll help
Yeah.
a lot.
Absolutely.
I really liked Alan St. Maximin as a player,
Yeah, but
but
even last
he
year
just didn't
I
quite
just
work
don't
out.
think he fit there.
No,
I think
I don't.
Harvey Barnes is honestly a perfect signing.
He
for
is.
them.
He is. I agree.
Like works
He'll be
super
very
hard.
good.
He'll grab you some goals.
Yeah.
Like, I think honestly those front
He's looked
three.
incredible in preseason.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
front three could grab 10+ goals easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Wilson, him, and Almiron. They also again though I think like Wilson could give you 4. Like
Yeah,
I'm not like, but I think the way they play,
Who did they bring on the wing too? Did
I
they
mean,
sign
they have
another
Isak,
winger?
who's
Isak.
Isak,
Yeah,
he's really good.
Isak's very good.
He had a really good end of the season as well. I think they have a good team.
Yeah,
Rose also.
I don't really think they have many weaknesses.
I mean, you
the
and
only
I
weakness,
have them ranked higher, I think.
Yeah.
only
I've loved
weakness to
before.
me is Dan Byrne at left back, but he did pretty well last year. To be fair to him, so
Yeah.
Well, I mean, top 4. Let's see if they can stay there.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's for those like teams like that. It's like consistency. Like same with Villa. Like I think like they can beat the best teams in the Prem, but doing it for 38 games is
Yeah,
like
it's
a whole
hard.
different thing.
Yeah.
I have Liverpool at 5th. Granted, I
blasphemy.
made this list before
blasphemy.
this Caicedo signing is hopefully going through for them, because, well, I watched one of their preseason games the other day, and like they were playing like
They
a
just don't have a
newly
6.
promoted Bundesliga team. They like it was just back and forth. They don't defensively. I think Van Dijk has slowed down a little bit, to be honest. I think, I mean, if you play now that you have these midfielders, you can't play Trent in there anymore. You have to play him a right back, and defensively he's pretty poor. But at the same time, like at home they're so good, and going forward they're going to be so good that I think they'll be able to grab enough goals to get by. But I just don't see them being the same Liverpool, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
I don't think it's fair, but
I still think Van
I
Dijk
think-
has it. I
No,
think he'll
I-
be
granted,
good.
I don't. Not that I'm saying Van Dijk's not good. I just
No,
think that,
I think they're going to come back with a vengeance this year.
I
I
think-
think Salah's going to be one to watch for player of the season.
the thing is, but Salah
He's
scored
gonna
like
cut-
20 goals last
Yeah,
season.
that's what I'm saying. But if let's say Holland doesn't score another 30 plus,
Like,
then you're going to have Salah right there.
but like,
And I think this team will provide
who's
a lot more
who's your striker?
opportunities.
That was Nunes going to give you enough goals?
You have Gapco too. Gapco's been playing really well.
Yeah,
and
but
then
like
I think
recently they've
their
been playing-
biggest issue was the midfield, and they've seemed to have solved it. If they did assign Caicedo or Lavia,
Yeah.
they seem to have solved that. Especially with, I think McAllister will be great. Szoboszlai will be great.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be Luis Diaz is
It'll
back.
be interesting. They could
Yeah.
honestly. I was honestly between like 5th and like 2nd.
Yeah, they are 1 or 2 injuries away from falling off a cliff, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their depth is not.
Like if they have to bring in Matip, like or like I don't
Yeah,
know.
or even Gomez has been kind of.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I just think they're on the brink.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't agree with it, but that's okay. Jumping on to 4th, I've got Newcastle. I mean they finished 4th last year. I think they'll be able to do it again. They've just improved their squad. That's pretty much all they've done. They didn't really lose anyone.
No.
They brought in Tonali, who I think will be a huge impact for them. And then Harvey Barnes, I think, will be even better than St. Maximin or even Isak on that side. I think you'll see a lot more Isak on the right up top.
Yeah.
So I like that combination. I love Almiron.
Yeah.
Getting biased, we watch the MLS, so
Yeah.
always rooting for him.
No, he's great.
But yeah,
Yeah, I have Liverpool 4th, but I could easily see them pushing for 2nd or even 1st. I mean,
Oh come on.
they've.
They're not
I
getting
mean,
first.
they've completely transformed their midfield.
They really have.
I mean, they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be good again. I mean, they have one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, like Prem
Yeah.
player Salah.
No, that's true.
I mean,
I don't.
I
don't
I
think-
feel like they don't really have any weakness. The only thing that I thought was a weakness was defensive mid. They just filled that.
But I don't think it's just their defensive mid because like those other 2 players don't really defend. So it's not just that. Like they.
Maybe Trent. You're saying.
Yeah. So you have Trent there, and like I think Robertson slowed down a lot.
I
And
still
like
think
so.
Robertson's very
that's
I
the
just-
best back in the Prem ever.
I don't know about
that's
that. I don't know.
Most
That's
assists-
a hot take.
that's
Most
that's.
assists at left back ever.
I don't know. He's yeah. Maybe give him a few more years. He's
Cole,
there.
I think it's Cole.
Cole
It has to
probably
be.
still.
Whatever.
But-
that's for another day.
I mean, Trent. I guess Trent sometimes, obviously a defensive liability, but like I don't see many more weaknesses. I mean, you mentioned if a player gets injured, that might be
Yeah,
a miss.
but again, that could
but-
happen to any team.
Yeah,
I just I don't know. I just don't see them conceding that many less goals than they conceded last year.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I think they'll have a lot more control and pace of play.
I agree.
And,
And
that's what they were struggling. They just weren't really playing like
Yeah.
Liverpool.
no, again, I mean, I could see them going second too.
I mean, replacing Henderson and Milner in the midfield is with Szoboszlai and McAllister is a massive upgrade. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
We'll see.
I think so.
Also,
We'll see.
Luis Diaz, was out 4 or 5
4 or
months?
5 months
last
right,
year.
No, actually 6 months right after,
Yeah.
right before the World
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He'll be very good. I think. Darwin Nunez could take a step up, but we'll see.
We'll see.
And
He
he'll
can-
either bang 20
he's
or
either
miss
gonna-
every single
yeah,
one.
literally.
He can only go up, kind
He
of.
hopefully.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
you'd
think.
hope.
Well,
Yeah.
no, yeah, you're.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, third I've got Arsenal. I think.
Interesting.
Look, I think they're good. I think they will be good, but they just haven't addressed their biggest issue, which was a striker, and especially now that Gabriel Jesus will be out for seems like what a couple months, 2 months.
I think 2 months.
At least 2
yeah,
months to
probably.
start.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Havertz was not it up top at least. It seems like they might play him
I
there.
guess-
while
I
Gabriel
disagree.
Jesus is
I
out.
thought
He was
pretty
good
decent.
versus City.
But again,
You
he
mean for
was good
Chelsea?
in one game.
No, versus City.
versus City.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He was good
in
for
one
one
game.
game. I just don't see him.
But that's kind of his story. He's always been like that.
And like, granted, he was good, and then he missed two like really
Yeah.
good chances, and then realistically, like
One
if-
was clear cut, the other was
Right.
kind of hard.
But,
But,
like,
yeah, I get your
I
point.
mean,
realistically-
I just think they're a poor man's version of City, to be honest. Play similar styles.
It-
I mean,
similar
yeah,
players.
it's,
Even have their
every
leftovers.
team's a poor Man City. though.
Even have their leftovers. So you know.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's
But
true.
We'll see. I mean, they could easily. I mean, they almost won it last year.
Yeah,
But I don't know. At the end, Saka, Martinelli, they all kind of
Slowed down
lagged
a
a little bit.
Slowed down a
Obviously, missing Saliba for the last couple of
yeah,
weeks.
that
or
was
a
huge.
little
That
bit.
was huge for them.
I do like Timber. Timber's a great signing. So your back four is strong, but we'll see. Also, see how Declan Rice does too, because I think you're putting
Yeah.
a lot of weight on him
I'm
being very, very good.
yeah, I think he will be.
I'm
It
interested
might
to
take
be-
a few games just to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, he's played in the Prem his whole career, so
Yeah,
yeah. I
Should
don't.
be.
I don't think by any means he'll be bad. I'm wondering how good he will actually be.
yeah.
for the
just 'cause-
price tag.
Yeah. Also, just
Yeah.
because he's used to playing a certain way, and it takes a while to play
to
a
adjust to
different way.
because he's never really
No.
had to keep the ball like that.
Not like that.
he will.
No,
Yeah.
and he's also probably going to be on the ball at the same time a lot less than he was. At
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Ham,
for sure.
because they don't like he was their best midfielder.
Especially once
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus comes back, he'll probably be the lone man back.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to
that's
see how that
interesting.
works.
Yeah.
All right, Clay, who do you have third?
I have United. I mean, I feel like Mount's actually a pretty good signing. 60 mil. I mean, I think he'll be good. Preseason, he wasn't the best. I think he'll be good. Hoyland coming in. I honestly think Hoyland will be good. 20 years old, 6'3". I mean, he seems like...
Which version of Holland or what?
Yeah, but I still think he'll do well. I mean,
you'll take
he's-
a wish version of Holland. If you
Yeah,
score
that's-
half those goals, like United
Yeah.
probably can get first there.
I mean, if he played the whole season, I think he bags 10 to 15, but it looks like he's going to be out the first,
Oh, yeah, he came injured,
about
huh?
month or so. I mean, I think they've addressed a lot of their issues. Onana's can play very well out of the back. I think that's huge. Replacing replacing De Gea with Onana, I think that's huge, and that they'll play the way Ten Hag wants them to play, and pick up a lot of results. And I think they'll finish third.
Yeah. I have United at 3-2. I honestly think them picking up Onana is awesome, for playing out of the back. But I think, they had the most clean sheets in the Prem last year, and De Gea was a part of that. So I think that they lose a lot of mistakes. They get rid of a lot of mistakes from him, but also he saves them plenty of times. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how Onana plays out. But I have them third just because again, they brought in a striker. Who knows how good he'll be, but he's going to be better than Wakehurst. We know that.
Yeah.
He'll score more goals than him. So
Yeah.
that will add to it. I'm just a little bit skeptical. I don't think they can push past third because Anthony, I think, gives you nothing on that side. And Rashford, will he score another 15 plus goals? You don't know. It could be either way. So, but I think Mount's going to be a good signing for them.
Yeah, and I think De Gea did pretty well, but I feel like Martinez was a great signing, and he's the reason that they had so many clean sheets.
Yeah,
I mean, you could say both.
I think-
But I think Martinez and Varane together are very good.
yeah, I think they're pretty good. I'm a little worried about Casemiro.
I think Varane will fall off a cliff any second too.
Yeah,
He looks interesting sometimes.
Yeah, he's getting older, and it
seems like they were trying to get another center back too. So
Yeah, they wanted Kim from Bayern, but
Yeah.
I mean they missed.
that would have been a great signing too.
Would have been.
But all right, I guess second for me, I've got Man City coming in second.
No way he's put Liverpool. No way he's put Liverpool first.
I mean, honestly, this one will probably come back to bite me. They're very good, but I don't know. Sometimes last year they managed to do it every time.
Yeah.
But they seemed a little off compared
Yeah, no, absolutely.
to the years before. They have lost Gundogan.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll really manage to replace him. Even if they bring Paqueta in, I don't think he'll provide you nearly as much as Gundogan did. He might turn out to be better in the long run, but it'll take him a while to fit into that system. It always does with Pep. Kovacic was a pretty good replacement, but I don't think he provides as much going forward as Gundogan does.
Definitely not, yeah.
it seems like they've managed to keep Bernardo Silva and Kyle Walker, which is good. Obviously, they signed Guardiola, which is kind of, they have 6 world-class center backs now, which is kind of ridiculous. So I don't see them conceding many goals, but I think if De Bruyne misses some time, which he honestly might,
he has
been
recently,
a lot, they're gonna struggle to find goals in some games. You kind of saw it in the Arsenal game. Before he came in, they were missing.
Absolutely.
That final piece, and I mean, Holland touched the ball 3 or 4 times in that entire time before he got subbed off. So I can see a world where, obviously, I'm not saying they're gonna fall off entirely off the cliff, but it's gonna be harder for them this year.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. I have Arsenal second. Their one miss last year, I think, was not having a good backup center back. I mean, Holding had to fill in for Saliba, and I thought that cost us the league. I think having Timber coming in. I mean, you have Kawar from last year. I mean, you have White, who can even play center back. I feel like there's so much depth in the back line when that was a huge issue. Obviously, Saka and Martinelli didn't show up as much as they could have in the last month or so. But I think the depth of the team has just gotten better. I mean, Xhaka left. You bring Rice in. I think Arsenal's finishing second.
Yeah. I have Arsenal second too. I think they got better. I don't think they got again, but I also don't think they addressed their biggest need. That's why I still have them at second. Can't get past City. They don't have a striker.
They don't.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you could see even the City game, even though they ended up winning on penalties.
They shouldn't have won that game.
No, Saka didn't do much. Martinelli he was decent, but I just don't think they have enough for the whole season without a striker.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're gonna be good. It's Arsenal now. I feel like they have the confidence.
Yeah, I thought when Gabby Jesus played last year, he's pretty good.
Yeah, but he again brings. It's kind of, he's in the same boat he was with City.
I guess.
Play a style where you need someone up top 24/7, and he loves to come back and get the ball, and he's very good at it. But it's just not what they need.
That's true.
Yeah, I just think in big games, do you really want to rely on Jesus? Against mid-table teams, you should fine, but in the big games, when you need someone, is it going to be him? I don't know. But
if we brought in an incredible striker, I think it'd be Arsenal number one. But I think they're 2 for now.
First, I've got Liverpool. No surprise there. I mean, I think there's 2 big reasons. We kind of forgetting Liverpool 2 years ago was a couple points off of winning the league.
Yeah.
So I think they have a huge shot. They won the Champions League 3 years ago, lost in the final 2 years ago. So I think we could see Liverpool come back here. They don't have to. They're not in the Champions League this year. I think they're going to play less games. Obviously, they're going to want to win the Europa League, but very different competition to Champions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that depth their biggest weakness is their depth at center backs, I think. Maybe at the 6 again. But good signings. It's all going to depend on how good Salah ends up being again, I think. But I have him finishing either first or second place for Player of the Year anyway. So
I mean, he had an off year last
year.
He
still scored 20 plus goals.
So I think that's
I
wouldn't have him
there.
That's
brash, but I mean, again, it is Liverpool. I just think they've lost their identity. What made Liverpool so good were with players like Henderson and Milner and people like that, like Fabinho, and they don't have that anymore. And I don't think the way they play suits that style anymore. And I think it's gonna be tough. They're not.
It is a Liverpool reunion in Saudi Arabia. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So, so we'll see. I don't know.
Oh.
I need to City up top.
Yeah, I got Man City up top.
What a prediction!
I know.
Yeah, I mean they've won it 3 years in a row.
I mean, you can't even back Arsenal or what?
I mean, you can't bet against City. I mean,
you can't bet against City.
I mean, Gavardiol, I just don't really see. They don't really have any weakness. I mean, lost Mahrez, not a huge loss really. Kovacic
barely played at the end.
I mean, I just don't see them any way they lose it. Just so much quality. Yeah, like you mentioned though, if Kevin De Bruyne gets hurt, it's that's the one thing that I could see affecting them, because if Haaland doesn't have him, I don't see him scoring as much as he did last year.
I have City at first, but I think it's more so honestly about. I mean, the team obviously is incredible, but Pep and the way he sets them up, first of all, now there's no pressure on this team anymore. They just won the treble. If they lose this year, it doesn't really matter.
Cares,
And so I think the players can play a little bit more free, but also I just think Holland and De Bruyne, that connection is going to get better. It's just going to get better from last year. I don't think De Bruyne was at his best last year, and he finished with 16 assists and 7 goals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do agree. If Kevin goes down, the way that City play now, it's not the same before. Holland will not touch the ball pretty much if Kevin goes down. So
literally.
defensively they won't concede, but it's going to be a little bit tough. So I'm thinking Foden's going to have a really big year. But again, that's also up to Pep. I think a lot of times he doesn't let Foden be Foden, and he kind of puts him in a system. So
yeah.
But I still think they have enough to get it done. I think Kovacic is the perfect player for Pep's system. He won't score as many goals as Gundogan, but everything else is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't really Paqueta. I don't think will do much for City.
Yeah, I think Kovacic is a great signing, but I think he's a huge downgrade of Gundogan.
See,
but that's just my opinion.
I also think Mahrez is a huge loss. He came up so big in so many big games for City.
That's fair. Yeah.
Granted, he didn't always play, but none of the wingers always played for City. That's just how it goes at City.
Yeah.
But again, it's a year after winning the treble. They won 3 in a row. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening in, and make sure to join us every Thursday for the latest news, in-depth analysis, and captivating discussions about everything footy. From weekly results in the top 5 leagues to different footy challenges, we've got you covered with everything. So please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and listen in.